On out there, YouTube family? This is Sammy Leggy here representing Team JVS. I'm back here again for another TV show review. This is one of the best CW shows that they've come up with in years, Superman and Lois. We're back, episode 1 of season 2. So, what did I think about the episode? It literally, I kid you not, started back up from where it left off. The last thing that happened, they saved the day and everything, but you know, John's daughter comes back, which is, of course, for her, it's like Lois is the mom, and that interaction happens. And instead of like this cliche moment where everybody just embraces, like, no, like Lois had a real emotional reaction and she couldn't handle it. Like she legitimately froze to the point that she didn't really perceive, she didn't know how to react, she didn't know how to function. She literally froze, and to the point that they ended up leaving and having to go to Metropolis. So what does this actually do? From that point they jump to 3 months later, and Lois has been jaded ever since. Now, what did I think about the episode as a whole? So the episode, I think, was really good. I think that the concept and the substance of this is showing a Superman that is out of form, out of a situation where it's beyond his physical control, because emotions are irrelevant to circumstance with people. Now, he knows for a fact his wife is dealing with an emotional moment, and that is also causing dissension in his household. And it's like when the two parents aren't vibing, then it's a dot of dissension going on. The other side of the pond, you got Sarah, who's been away for camp, which I have some theories about what's going on with that. We'll talk about that more with Lucas in our discussion, because we are having a full-on discussion about this episode as well. But she kind of comes back, and she's just not really vibing with whatever Jordan is for whatever reason. I have my theories with that. But there's also a situation where Lana is backing somebody to be mayor, replacement mayor, and her husband is just not feeling it. The crazy thing is, like, I love the fact that I didn't miss a step. Like, the only thing that I would critique would be maybe certain character interactions, like Jonathan's interaction with his girlfriend, that was kind of out of left field. And then also the time jump kind of adds more questions than anything of what's really happening, because I haven't really talked about the meat and potatoes, what's going on with Superman. But I love the character interactions. That's one of the things I love about this show, is that every single character, no matter even if it's the true to form main four, they're all progressing some direction, and they're all important, to the point that now there's a new DLD person, and he's kind of looking at Clark like, no, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, I need you to do this for America. And Clark's like, nah, I didn't promise myself to America. And I love that concept. I love what that means. I love the consequences to that, to the point that they're having a real serious conversation, and then his wife's like, yo, I need your help. And it was something trivial, but it was still important. And it's like, from a husband standpoint, as a man and as a father myself, you have things that's going on in your job and your work, and then your wife or your significant other hits you up. It's like, I need you really quickly. And it's the most minuscule thing, as opposed to the major meeting or situation going on, this money is on the line. But if you minimize it, emotionally, it kind of can put you in the doghouse, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just really interesting how they're putting those different staples on the show, allowing the show to progress in such a interesting and amazing way, in my personal opinion, even in the most real moments, and even some of the most stupid moments. But again, there's also something going on with Superman. Superman, in the very early parts of the episode, goes to North Korea, an epic sequence. And I mean epic. It's so epic that I was like, yo, like the rain, the backdrop, the water, like all of it looked so freaking good. Like, it was such an amazing Superman moment. And they put Superman in two compromising situations. Well, three technically, if you use the DOD personality situation, because it's kind of like you can't compromise on who you are at this current state. But he chose to go to North Korea and save the situation, but that had a consequence. and visually it's just amazing. But I think that I think that the way that they're handling Clark dealing with it is so much more interesting, because Clark already is dealing with stuff that's going on in his home that's causing him emotionally and mentally to not be on his best. But then now he's also got something going on with his brain. His brain is just like supercharged. There's something going on. And I think that he technically is predicting certain things, because later on there's another situation that it's kind of like they couldn't take the Superman 1 or 2 way out of shifting the tectonic plates. Like, no, he just had to be damage control for an earthquake. It's like there wasn't anything. I love that. I love that it didn't have like, oh, this is a easy way to handle this. No, like he was trying to minimize as much damage as possible. There was no quick way of dealing with it at all. And I don't know what this actually means either. And I think that that's one thing that I love about this episode. So as far as that first episode back, I think that it was really good. Was it the best that they've done? I wouldn't say that necessarily, but I'm excited because by the end of this episode, I'm not going to spoil. We'll talk about more in our discussion. Like they've ended on a way that I'm just like, yo, what? Where are we going with this? And how? And then even like, there's a very small end credit sequence that I'm just like, what is that? And I love the fact of I have no preconceived notions about who villains are gonna be, what's gonna come, and what we're in store for. But I do know that they're gonna maximize it to its utmost, and I'm in love and love everything about Superman Lois. And season 2 is not a departure from any of that. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this review. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell button. We got a lot more content coming, and you really just don't want to miss it. Peace, guys. Falling off the top of